So today's training, we're going to be focusing on both our level 3 and our level 4. Our level 4 skills are going to be derived from a system called the SPEAR system. Tony Blauer created it. It is basically a self-defense counter-ambush training system. Y'all have seen a little bit of it that we've used in Shul. You're going to get a really gross education on it today. It's going to be pretty intensive, but no one's going to get hurt. We're going to stay safe at all times. When I say static drills, we're going to go static. That means everything is very light. We're about 10% speed, 10% power. We're not trying to hurt people. We just want to pressure test what we're going to learn. Everything today is simple. It's going to be based on your gross motor skills. It's hardwired into your spine. It's in your DNA. It's part of your flinch response system or your startle flinch, right? Everybody's going to flinch at any time. The things that we have to work on is counter ambush. Even if we're dealing with a person, having to escort them out or whatever, we always need to be aware or start hearing that clown music every time we're in a situation, because if we don't, we're going to get caught off guard and go from white to black. And what I mean by that is in the military, we have a color system on where we're at as far as a threat level. The threat level being white, you're asleep, you're on your phone, you have zero situational awareness. Yellow, you're kind of aware, you're looking around. It's kind of us at Shul. We're talking to each other, but you're still looking around. You have awareness, right? No situational awareness is white, awareness is yellow. Orange, we're having to deal with a situation. It's not bad yet, it's escalated. We've already got the adrenaline dump. We're already processing the fight or flight. We know we're not flighting, so we're about to fight. So you're processing how to diffuse before we have to start defending, right? And so there's a 3D system. It's detect first, diffuse second, and defend last. Last. Hands-on is last. And hands-on, by the way, is defending. You're defending your Shul at that point, even though we're just doing escort out. So a lot of the stuff that we're learning today, I want you to pay very close attention. It's all going to derive into our complex motor skills. This is the transition. This is the bridge to your next move. SPEAR stands for spontaneous protection, enabling accelerated response. What that is spontaneous protection is the flinch. Everybody flinches, whether you're 5 years old or you're 95 years old. You're all gonna do it. It's gonna be this outside 90 structure, fingers splayed. You're never gonna see people flinching on 90-degree angles or doing this Vogue Madonna thing, right? Everybody's gonna go outside 90 fingers splayed no matter what it is. Sometimes if you're holding something, whether it be a knife, key, or whatever, if you're holding something and you fletch, it's gonna cause this cross extensor reflex, which is where Wing Chun derived the Bong Sao out of, which is this, right? Sometimes you may have something in your hand and you're having to get into this position, so you release it later a different way. We're gonna learn both how to get out of a bad situation using the flinch, using these skills, because it keeps you with this spring pressure of on and off. And we're gonna talk about the spring pressure. We're gonna talk about the airbag effect of becoming that airbag and using your close quarter tools, your forearms and your hands. You're never gonna see me make a fist in this class. We're never gonna be punching anybody. I don't believe in it. It's counterproductive to your strength. We both have a flexor and an extensor system. Your flexors, think curling while you're at the gym. Extensors, think bench press, right? Anytime you're on the street, you're gonna see people do these crazy flexor moves. I mean, these haymakers, right? These crappy headlocks, these crappy tackles. I mean, you're gonna see this everywhere, but everything is using flexor strength. What is stronger, extensor or flexor?
Extensor.
All day long. You can bench more than you can curl, right? So if you can bench more than you can curl, and extensor strength is what we're basing the system on, not flexor. We're not doing this grab or hold or anything else. Everything is here. If y'all saw how I escorted the guy out last time, those that were there, I'm this and pushing, because you want to use your extensor strength, and if anything happens, you're back up outside 90 fingers splayed. I'm not going to be able to teach you guys how to flinch, but I will teach you how to convert the flinch into a tactical move. And I don't care what martial arts or boxing or whatever you've had in your life, this isn't going to replace that. It's going to be that initial phase of getting back to a point of domination over your target, or victim, or whatever you want to call them at that time, because you need to make them the victim instead of having the victim mentality. I don't have time to go through the fear management part of this training today because it takes too long. The only thing I'm going to say is this: mindset is everything. If you cannot put yourself in the mindset, and I've gotten in trouble I don't know how many times, just from people looking at me and they're going, he's riled up. No, I'm not riled up. I'm extreme processing what my next action is, because your force must parallel the danger that you perceived at that time, right? And so people may see me a little bit more amped up when I'm having to take people out or to move people. It's only because I know that in my head, if I do anything wrong, it's legal. It's a legal issue, right? So I try to avoid legal issues by fast processing in my head, so you'll automatically use your adrenaline for that, okay? We've all had to talk fast out of how to get ourselves out of situations. So if we're doing that and we're having to diffuse a situation, that is going to amp us up, and we're going to be very short with people around us. They need to understand that. It's not that we're trying to be jerks. It's we have to deal with the situation, get this under control, and we don't need your help, right? And sometimes we're in a place, we're in a facility where we like to help people. We like to get and help interject. And there's some times that you're going to have to tell people to hold on, stay back until we deal with this problem. And that is absolutely fine. Everybody has to be ready to have that mindset to be able to do it. Sometimes we look like jerks. Well, guess what? We take our job seriously, and unfortunately that comes out. No matter what critical incident you're going to come across, you're always going to default to your training. I don't care what your training is. So if you're trained military with responding to firefights with a firefight, that's your default training. If your default training is your soft skills, whether you know how to diffuse a situation and talk people down, that's going to be 99% of your job, right? Do you want to get to the next part? No one here besides me likes going hands-on. I just have to say it. I enjoy it, but I don't like getting there. The process getting there and the process after sucks. I don't care how much fun I'm having during the time. It's the before and after that is not the fun part, right? So we're going to learn how to diffuse first, and then we're going to do the other fun stuff. So verbal judo is a term that was keyed by, I'm trying to remember the doctor's name, and I had it on the tip of my tongue and I just forgot it, but I will get it to you before we leave. Everybody's going to be mandated, and if you haven't taken it, I've already put it in the channel for you guys to go watch this video. It is very, very important, and I'm going to just give an example and we're going to move on. If I'm having to deal with a person that's out front and he's sitting there cussing me out and flipping me off and doing all this stuff, man, I'm really sorry you feel this way about me. You know, my mom, she used to say the same thing about me. I kind of get it, so I understand. So what's going on with you? What did I do? I received and absorbed the information, and then I redirected it somewhere else to get back to the problem. Because if someone is spinning up, what's the problem? Is it a problem with the person, or is it a problem with what's going on around them? It's a problem with the person. So you have to address the needs of the person. What's going on? How can I help you? What do we need to do to get everything resolved here, right? And if you have it from a resolution mindset, it's easy to take and throw away because it's never personal. Unless it is personal, then you handle it different. But most of the time, it's never personal with somebody you don't know. So if you're at that front door and you're having to warn someone and they get all adamant, hey, why are you doing this? I've gone in here 100 times. I'm sorry, sir, we're under a new strict rule right now. We're under a new threat level. We have to do this, right? So you can diffuse anything as long as you're explaining it properly and making sure you do it with the right tone, right? I always give everybody nice guy first. Everybody. The second time, it's a little more serious. Sometimes my serious oscillates a little bit between a 5 and a 9, depending on the issue. But you have to manage that process, right? So, verbal judo, if you haven't watched the video I sent to the group, those that are watching on the video, go look it up on verbal judo on YouTube. You're going to find 5 good videos. Take the first 2. I think it's the first 2 got split into 2 parts. Watch those. It's really good. Now we're getting into the other part, the defend part, if you have to. Clint, I lied, I'm going to use you, just because you're close. So what I mean by the spear system, and we haven't practiced this, he hasn't seen anything, I haven't prepped him or anything. The spear system is that bridge to your next move. If I'm a boxer and someone's throwing a punch at me, my first thing is to either bob and weave and throw a jab. There's a in martial arts, we have a lot of if this, then that. And it's called Hicks Law. And Hicks Law basically states that if you have multiple, or one stimulus and multiple responses, the one that has the fewer responses is going to win because you have less to choose from. So matrix speed, right hand to my jaw. I see that coming. I got to do a rising block because if I do a cross block, it may not be fast enough. So when that punch is coming, go really slow. I have to track and vector. I have to see where that's coming to know I've got to do this to stop it. What does my timing have to be? Perfect, right? That's a complex motor skill, right? This is a complex motor skill. What is faster than a complex motor skill?
Reflex.
Your reflexes, your reflex system, and your primal motor skills in your DNA, hardwired in your spine. I've said it multiple times, but this is going to come in, and there's 3 types of things that you can do, whether you picked it up early or late. So if it's late, it's going to look like this. The punch comes in. Oh crap, there it is. And it may brush off my hands, but it may not make contact. It doesn't look tactical. It doesn't look cool, but maybe you survive and weather that first punch, right? The second way is you start picking it up, you start hearing the clown music. I start seeing that shoulder drop as he throws that punch. And now, go ahead. And then, so now I see it, and now I'm coming in. Don't throw fast here. Throw fast. Hit. What he's doing is he's telegraphing his intention every time. And I want him to do this. I want him to drop that shoulder, but he started changing up and aiming for my face, which is good because I want that. Because that makes me do what? Close the distance. If he has a bat or a stick or a knife, how far away do I want to be? Probably way back here, right? I don't want to be up and close to him if he has a knife, because knives are meant to be felt, not seen. So if he's got a knife and he's going to try to attack me with it, the very first thing I have to do is what? There's 3 C's. Slow. Here. Slow. Slow. Control. Right? Clear. Counter. Right? And then grab the knife and do whatever you need to from there. All of this, control, clear, counter, we're going to work on later. But I'm using the same move for everything. As this is coming in, I flinched, right? Come in, faster this time. So I'm still here and pushing away danger. At some point, as this is coming, I want to drop and grab the wrist, right? This is not science, this is not perfect. It may not work every time, but your normal reaction is to push away danger. Only because he's a little bit more my size, you can take your plate off a little bit. I'm going to use him for a reason because he does have a plate on. As the flinch happens, and we're going to practice all of this.
Chad, let me grab your sidearm.
Oh, he's got it.
I mean, anything can happen here. Does this have a lock? Go ahead and pull it out for me.
There you go. Thanks. Practice the punch. Punch comes in, I'm not going to move. Punch, boom. Follow through. Follow through. Clear. Follow through. We're going to be doing this in ECT in a minute, so I want you to hit and follow through, right? I want this to happen every time. Aim for a little micro dot behind the ears where you want to aim anyway. Boom, follow through. Good. So as we're punching, keep doing that same punch. What I want you to do is come over here. Just where these people can see over here. Can you move over here with the camera crew? What we're doing on this punch is the same thing you're going to see in the street. Haymakers, we're going to be practicing in here, and you're going to ask me later what happens on the straight punch. I'll show you that. But from a haymaker standpoint, when you start picking this up, what position is he in right now? His foot's dropped back. His right shoulder's dropped back. If he's going to throw hard and fast, that's what it's going to look like. Now stand straight, face me. Get a little straight, come on, you're doing stuff like this, right? This is going to happen if you get into a situation, your hands are up and someone does start encroaching. Let your flinch happen, but use it as an index palm. So the very first thing we're going to learn is this index palm. So encroach in like you're going to, so no sir, I need you just to hold back, right? And all you're doing is just stopping them with your hand. If anything else happens from here, my position is already set to do what? I'm launching him backwards.
Oh yeah.
Right? is this is the palm strike that happens after an index palm. This would come here, wham, and I'm going to step through. Okay? See, he did real good. Nonviolent posture, we're trying to talk someone down. Punch comes in, I pick it up, and now I'm moving in. This is what I want to see. It's this explosion of this as an airbag, right? I'm sitting here, I'm talking to him, nonviolent posture. I don't hear the clown music quite yet, and all of a sudden he jacks it fast. Punch, there's that defensive spirit, right? I didn't know when he was going to throw it. He's talking through it. We did not practice this. Okay? This is what I want you to see. It doesn't matter how fast he is. My flinch should be faster than his because it's coming off of a primal motor skill. Okay? So another drill we're going to do in a minute. I'm showing you all of these, and we're going to break out into groups, and we're going to do each one of these. Another drill we're going to do is mirror drill. I'm going to have you put your hands up this way. As soon as I touch his hands, he can throw either one. Same haymaker, fast, one side of my head, aim to a microdot, and it's only because if you go too far and I miss, I want you to be able to catch me because I'm going to probably be knocked out on the ground. Same way with you guys. This is going to be the most dangerous drill we do. It's because you do not know what your partner is going to do. Randy, you're not allowed to do this drill. So when we come up, as soon as I touch your hands, you can throw either hand. So I want you to boom and jack it in, okay? Okay. This is omnidirectional, right? Both hands are coming up. If I thought he was going to throw this hand and I just did the one-handed thing, right? Go. Whoops. See the problem? Or even this way. You're going to orient to the direction you see movement, which is why this drill is so fun. You can go fast. And I didn't know which way he was going to go. Remember, you want to draw back, be a good bad guy, boom, and aim in, follow through. Don't. I mean, we can have fun. Go ahead. Read it. Doesn't matter. See, I feel like I'm going slow. It really does. This feel slow to me. I'm picking it up really fast. When we're talking to people in a group, we're always going to be two up. And the reason we want to be two up is it's a tactical advantage. What we wear is a tactical advantage. It's a tactical enhancement, right? A force maxim, a force enhancement. It's your presence first, right? And if your presence is there, whether you're looking like this or looking like me, even just dressed like this, people are going to be like, he might have a little bit of skill, right? I mean, we never want to give anybody skills that they've not proven, but just from visual, you're not going to get away from it because people will profile. We're profile human beings. The stupidest thing I've ever heard in the world is, well, we can't profile. We profile everything, especially in our field. You know, so I just have a hard time with that. But mirror drill is going to be the fun one. We're going to work another drill that is going to be called bear hug drill. And this is going to show you how you can actually trust this to get you out of all your problems, and it's going to look like this. I'm not going to use you. Let me use you. That's good. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go like this. I'm going to put it against your chest, and I want y'all. I'm teaching you the safety part of this drill first, so y'all pay attention. Okay. When I'm here, I'm going to turn my head, look the other way. You're going to ask me if I'm ready. I'll say yes. And slow, you're going to apply pressure to collapse this in. Okay? So I got my head turned. That's just so we don't kiss.
Yeah.
Okay? So go ahead and put your arms behind my shoulders and ask me if I'm ready.
Ready?
Ready. Okay. So he's pretty strong. I can't hold that. All I'm going to do is adjust it. I'm right-handed. I'll use my left. Finger splayed, stay front and center. Make sure this is not 90 when we do the drill. Yep. This is outside 90, 45, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a mathematician, so I'm not going to do it. Whenever you're ready. Yeah.
Okay. Ready?
Yep. As hard as you can. As hard as you can. I mean, just as hard as you can. Yeah. And I'm not really trying. So, and y'all can tell I'm not straight. That's my left hand, by the way. And you're pretty strong. I like doing this with the strongest people here because this works. So, he's never seen. Have you seen this? No. Okay. Same thing here. I want you to come across, put your hands across your chest. Same thing. Yep. Turn your head, look that way. Ask him if he's ready.
Ready?
Okay, well that was pretty quick.
Yeah.
This time, what I want you to do is turn your hand,
And have your fingers splayed.
this part of your forearm.
Fingers open.
Relax. I'm just here. Just laying. Okay. Same thing.
And not 90.
Outside 90. This is 90, outside 90.
Ready?
Yep. Which one's stronger?
That one. Yeah.
For sure, right?
Yeah, the last one you did.
Yeah. So,
And with that second one, I feel it more. I don't feel it at all when you're like that.
no. But you definitely feel it when you're applying pressure. It's your pressure, by the way. I'm just holding you. So, same thing. Put me in a headlock. I'm not going to resist.
So.
Just like if you're going to just,
I'm-
yeah, however you want to put me in a headlock. Go ahead. Yeah. Good. Stop. Back up.
Oh, you're saying.
In martial arts, no, we practice 100 times doing that, right? Or, okay, we can do this one, then we work
Yep.
all that stuff, right?
That's the worst.
You practice 100 times doing this wrong. Don't ever get there. Again, go ahead and put me in the headlock. Same thing as you. Yeah. Just go ahead. Whenever you're ready. All I'm doing is outside 90 fingers play. We're playing a little dance, but that's all I'm doing. If no one had any skills, and I just taught them just to keep your hands up, this keeps you from even getting taken down, right? Do you know how
But
to
from
do a
behind,
tackle?
you could just like turn.
Do you know how to do a tackle? So all I'm doing, outside 90 fingers splayed, we did not practice this. He had no idea what this is, right? I had a martial arts teacher. She was there with me. His name's Graham Whedon. I hope this never goes on Facebook if he sees it, because it'll be a bad day for me. But we were in his class, had a mat out, and he goes, okay, so today we're going to be practicing from getting tackled and getting up from the ground. Yes, Chad. Can we practice not going to the ground? What do you mean? Well, just exactly that. Everybody's going to go to the ground no matter what. I'm like, okay, I can prove that's not the case. He says, well, we'll do this after class. Her and I stayed after class, how long?
Sprawling.
15 minutes? 15, 20 minutes of him trying to take me down. He was never able to. He kept asking, what are you doing? Stop, what are you doing? And I mean, he's sitting there holding his neck going, what is going on? He was coming so hard and fast, it was just, I absorb and just push down. This is all you're doing. You're just redirecting what's coming, right? So, hard punch comes into the right, just do metric speed. Ooh, picked it up, here I am, right? I'm grabbing here. This is a habit. It's a bad habit, but the next thing I normally want to do is control the guy. We'll do this next. But what I want everybody to do is to find a partner that is your size. You're with me. Yeah, partner up, and then we're going to go through some drills. You've seen kind of what this looks like. Those of you that have been through the class, this is why I'm kind of hurrying through it. And we're going to partner up and run through the drills. So y'all can go ahead and kill.